Let's talk about a 50-50 relationship because this is a beautiful thing to talk about because there's so many different ways to come at it. So many people agree and disagree with certain things. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing I'm going to say, and it's not really a deciding factor, but it's something that needs to be known and understood fully, is that majority of women only get paid 2/3 of what a man gets paid. 2/3 of what a man gets paid. I just want everyone to be aware of that. All right. So that's a part that plays a part. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. 50-50 relationships. A lot of people want this. And I feel like, honestly, the main reason that people even want it is to show that they both want it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing all the work and you got a female that's doing none of the work, or vice versa, it's like 80-20 or 90-10. That's not a good relationship to be in. You know, unless that's what you want to do, unless you want your partner to just be sitting at home and just, make the house, be a housewife, set it up a certain way, do the chores, that's cool. That's cool. If you got kids, it's a little bit different because someone has to watch them kids while people go to work so someone can go to work and make money. So even when you go to work to make money, you got to pay for where these kids are going. So it does make sense sometimes when the female is at home. Well, it makes sense most of the time when the female is at home to watch the kids because that is rent by itself, paying for babysitting, that child care, that stuff's crazy. But anyway, jumping back into it, if you two are just, there's no children involved, it's not always going to be 50-50, even when you do got children involved, especially. Life will not always be 50-50. People lose their jobs, people have hard times that they go through, people have emotional hard times and mental hard times when, family members pass away or someone they really cared about passed away. There's a lot of things that happen in life, of course. But understanding that, I feel like most people just want to see that when it's the 50-50, especially in the beginning, it's because they want to see how bad that person wants it. How bad do they want to support y'all? How bad do they want to make sure you all are okay? When you start getting into it and people have, things that come up in life, it's cool to start off in that 50-50, but it's not always going to be like that. Even if that's y'all's agreement, like I said, things happen in life. Besides the children, we're talking about other things because the children, obviously, someone's got to watch the kids. We're not talking about that. We're talking about other things that happen in life. So maybe your partner gets sick and now they got to pick up the pace. It's a relationship. It's a boat. It's a ship on the water that you two are now steering. And if only one person is steering, they're going to get tired. And one day they're going to fall off the steering wheel and you're going to run into a rock. And then you're going to sink. And then you're going to watch each other sink as divorce sets in, the dividing of assets sets in, the lawyers come into play. So if you don't both care enough to be steering that relationship, then it's not going to work out anyway. So, but understanding that it's not always going to be 50-50, if you want, sometimes it has to be 70-30. Sometimes your partner, like I said, is just not in the situation to help in the way that they want to. Sometimes the person that's handling all the money gets hurt in a way that they can't handle all the money anymore, so the other person has to pick it up. This is what being a team is. This is what a ship is, with both of you relating like over a common goal. Like it won't work if only one of you wants it bad enough to keep it and the other one is just kind of here to float around, ain't not really paying attention where the ship's going, doesn't really care, is just happy they're on a ship. Pick your people wisely. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, and our bodies break down and things happen. So make sure to understand that it's not always going to be 50-50, and whatever you and your partner agree on is what's best. As long as you feel that it's okay with you and that you are happy with the outcome, then don't worry about what anyone else says. Don't worry about what I'm saying right now. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just do what y'all do. If that works for you all and it makes you both happy, do what y'all do. And so I love everyone. I'm out.